con đường mà chúng ta phải đi qua, những con đường thật ngắn và những con đường.
Hi, in the previous video I talked about scale and dimensions. I also suggested you learn the dimensions of everything related to the design of a town, starting with the street. You can do that by reading the textbook on architecture, or checking on online maps, or by measuring things yourself. In the first part of this video, I will share with you some very basic dimensions you may use a lot when designing a street. Then I will show you how I measure real-life dimensions of the streets in my hometown Saigon. And in the last part, I will explore the streets around the world via Google Maps and check their dimensions. This is a very popular book among architectural students called Newfort's Architect's Data. It provides you almost every essential dimensions from our human body to tables and seats, cars and parking, steps and stairs, outdoor activities, and so. At entry level and mostly working on a plane or top view design, here are some essential dimensions I picked from the book. The Architect's Data book is very convenient to use. However, it's just a reference based on certain standards. The real dimensions may be slightly different in various situations. Now let's follow me to the streets of my hometown. Today I will use an AR measurement app in my smartphone. You can find apps like this on your app store. They're mostly used for indoor, but let's see how they work in outdoor large places. Let's start with Hai Ba Trung Street in Tân Định Market area. I was born just around here. This is a big street of Saigon and it's very busy with shopping activities both inside and outside of the market. I want to know the width of the sidewalks as there are many pedestrian activities here. And as you can see here, the number I've got is about 3.8 meter. That's not bad at all. Let's check the detail. Let's see the size of the pavement tiles. Oh, it's around 40 by 40 centimeter. That's fair, I guess so. If we assume that the two sidewalks of these streets are the same, its plan probably looks like this. We are now in Madinchi Street, where I used to live in my childhood. This is a well-mixed area of residential and business activities. I have walked around here so often and this sidewalk has always been comfortable for me. I think it's a good time for me to check how wide it is. And the number I've got is around 4.9 meters. That's very pedestrian friendly. And the roadway is around 7.5 meters. I assume that the two sidewalks of these streets are the same, so it may look like this on the plane. This is a section of Nam Kỳ Khởi Nghĩa Street in the CBD. It's a main exit connecting from the airport. This section looks good with many trees, some historic buildings, and quite comfortable to walk around. As you may notice, how I measure everything with this app is quite simple. I just pick 2 points and the app will show the distance between them. The width of the sidewalk here is around 5.7 meters. That can afford a bus stop while still leave good space for pedestrians. However, the roadway is just around 6.9 meters and I think that's quite narrow for such traffic flow in the city center, especially during rush hours like this. This is Dong Khởi Street. We are right in the city core area, in front of a popular shopping center, and just a few steps to the town hall. There are many people walking in this area both day and night, so I think 4.5 meters of the sidewalk is fair enough. It's a bit challenging to measure the roadway here as the vehicles run by continuously. I have to wait for the red light to do it, and the number I've got is around 8.5 meters. This is a sidewalk of Lela Street in front of Saigon Center Tower and also Takashimaya Shopping Mall. Lela is one of the two main streets of the city core. This side of the street is busier due to the office and shopping activities. Here, the design of the sidewalk is not all flat, so I divide the measurement into two parts, the elevated part and the lower part. For the lower part, I decide to measure the pavement height and then multiply it by 10. The total width of this sidewalk is about 10 meters. That number is great to me, the largest sidewalk I have measured in this video. Also, by looking at the landscape design here, I guess 4 elevated of 10 meters is within the length of the building, and 6 meters belongs to the public. I like to spend more time measuring some details of the sidewalk here. The numbers I've got will be good reference for my future urban design. Moving from District 1 to District 7, and now I'm in Phu My Hung, one of the new towns of Ho Chi Minh City. This is Phạm Thái Bường Street, where I often come to visit my friend's floral shop. I find the streets here is quite spacious for a residential area, and I'm interested in knowing its dimension. Using the same technique, I've got this plan of the street. 12 meters wide for the roadway is obviously designed for cars. This is Midtown, a more high-rise residential area also in Phu My Hung. There are both apartment buildings and detached or semi-detached townhouses here. I like to check both the main street and the interior street of a block. Just by looking, I can see the street design is strongly based on its purpose. While the main street has more car lanes and larger sidewalks, the interior street had lots of greenery and just minimum sidewalk. I also do a quick check the width of a normal car and the width of a lane here. If you have any chance, you should check and compare the size of a car in reality and the dimensions of a car given in a design textbook. And here is the plan I've got after measuring the streets in Midtown. The last place I want to show you in this city tour is my high school. It's a French colonial architecture opened since 1928. One thing I like about the urban design here is the small roadway in front of the school gate. It's like a buffer zone for the safety of the students before they get into the big street. I don't really know the reason why they do this 100 years ago when the traffic was surely not so heavy, but it's very useful nowadays. The width of the small roadway is around 3 meters, which can accommodate one lane of car and some bicycles in the 20th century to move in and out. Today, that's just enough for motorbikes and bicycles, as during peak hours there are so many students and their parents come to pick them up here. And here is the plan I've got for the area in front of Lê Hồng Phong High School. Well, going out and measuring things burn me some calories. I think it's a good exercise for learners anyway. I like to do it at my own convenience and safety. If you'd like to know more about the app I use, please leave your comment below. For bigger things, especially in other cities in the world that I cannot travel to, I'd rather fly in Google Maps and use this measurement tool. Right now on my mind are Seoul in South Korea and Sydney in Australia. One is where I want to travel to, and the other is where I used to stay and love it. If I go to Seoul, I love to see Myeongdong walking street. I've known about it many years ago, but only from reading on the internet. It seems a very exciting place to walk around, and the space must accommodate a large amount of passerbys. That's why I want to check its dimension. You know, one issue with viewing the streets from this satellite view is the high-rise buildings. I might not see the street design clearly due to the perspective. It's not really straight top-down view. Yeah, and that happens here. I think I should look around for a session where I can see the whole width of the street. As I measure here, Myeongdong walking street is around 17 to 20 meter wide. And because it's only for pedestrians, so there's no sidewalk. George Street is one of the biggest and longest streets in downtown Sydney. I used to walk there during my spare time but never paid attention to how wide it was. Here I would say the total width is around 20 to 21 meters, sometimes much larger like 35 to 50 meters around the town hall. Let's follow me back to Kingsford, where I used to stay close to UNSW. I like the neighborhood there. This is Middle Street again. It's around 24 meters wide in total. You can see the sidewalk here is very large. It's around 8 meters wide. Very spacious, but most of that is the sidewalk grass. There's only a walkway around 1 to 1.2 meters wide, closer to the house fronts. Now you may understand how to use an online map as a reference tool to know the dimensions of the streets. If you like this method, you can virtually travel to many cities with a bit deeper look at the map. Well, I have shown you 3 ways of learning dimensions of the streets. There's actually a 4th way that I often used to guess the dimensions of things. If you know what it is, just comment. I hope this video would inspire you to pay attention to the size of everything around yourself. There's no need to learn them by heart because things that you use frequently, you will remember them very well. See you in the next video.